Initiating System 1.
Tired of using the old short to medium range weapons? Well, there's always the other side of it. There's the
System
sniper
unlocked.
rifles, and they're excellent when it comes to long range. So what about one that is a bolt action? A pretty good one at least, and could be used for quick scoping. Well, there's always one solution on that as well. Today, we're going to be reviewing the M40A3 sniper rifle. The M40 sniper rifle was originally made in 1966 by Remington Arms. Basically a copy of the Remington 700, but it was modified by the United States Marine Corps armorers. And for the modern one, in 1996, the M40A3 was made, using modern materials and using a fiberglass stock. It's been now that the Marines have been looking for a more modern replacement, and in 2004 they made a program to replace these old sniper rifles, and for some of the competitors, it was either the SMR, Ballista, and the Arctic Warfare being a few examples of what sniper rifles are going to be replacing. Compared to some of the other sniper rifles, damage-wise, this is probably one of the weakest within the category. You need a guaranteed one shot when it comes to the neck and head. The rest is basically a two-shot kill, which means you are going to be a horrible sniper rifle if you don't have the use of stopping power. There is no range penalty when it comes to the sniper rifles, which means you can shoot gloriously through the neck and head at longer ranges, but that will be extremely difficult to do. Penetration ability is high, like all the other sniper rifles. Rate of fire is one of the slowest in the game, and it's usual when it comes to a bolt action weapon. For the rate of fire at default, you are going to be shooting at 65 rounds per minute, which means you could be pretty vulnerable after taking your first shot. With double tap equipped, it doesn't do that much. Your rate of fire will be increased to 87 rounds per minute. Your hip fire is severe, however, which means you cannot use this when it comes to a point-blank range, unless you're equipped with steady aim. Your recoil, however, is one of the lowest within the sniper rifles. Every time you fire, you will have a low to moderate kick, but it won't be a factor every time you recycle a bolt. When the process is complete, you'll be able to be sticking down to your target once again. Your aim time, however, is gonna be very slow, at 400 milliseconds. Switch times, however, are pretty slow as well, at 666 milliseconds going down, and almost a full second going up. Your movement speed, however, is the same as an assault rifle, at 95%. Magazine is pretty low when it comes to the sniper rifles, but it's not that much of a factor with it being a bolt action rifle. You start with 5 rounds within the magazine, and with your starting supply, you have 15 other rounds to deal with, and in total, you have a decent supply of 20 rounds. They may not sound a lot, but you can get 20 reliable kills within that regard, depending on where you hit. Your reloads are a little bit slow, with a 1.13 second when it comes to starting your reload, and a 0.26 second on each round that you can come in. And with it, that can easily be around a 2-second reload, which isn't bad compared to the other sniper rifles. Our build with this weapon is not going to be based on a long-range sniper class. Pair this with stopping power and iron lungs, and you have a good sniper class. But we are going to be using it as an aggressive class, effective at a medium range, and we're going to be using power and using the close range as a good source for killing. But we do have to regard some of the other weapons' cons, especially with the one-shot ability when it comes to the neck and chest. We're going to help enhance that. The recommended attachment that we're going to be using is the ACOG scope. With the ACOG scope, it gives you great benefit when it comes to your aim time and to your damage. Your damage will be slightly increased, which means you can get more reliable one-shot kills, but your aim time will be switched to 300 milliseconds. But With the ACOG scope, you cannot hold your breath while using it, and you cannot benefit using iron lungs as well. But it makes it really good when it comes to a medium range, or even at a close range at times as well, if you're quickly scoping into your weapon and getting a good shot when it comes to your opponent. But that depends on what you're going to be at. For our first perk selection, we are going to be using the Special Grenade ×3 perk. With the Special Grenade ×3 perk, we will get 3 Special Grenades in total, but we can't just use them with smoke. You only have to use Flashbang or Stun. With that, you'll be able to disorient your opponents at a middle range, or use it to go behind cover to escape, or close in for the kill. But for the recommended Special Grenade, use the Stun Grenade because it'll be able to be tossed in more quickly than that of the Flashbang. Next up, Stopping Power. Stopping Power is a big must when it comes to the M40A3. With the M40A3's killing power with Stopping Power equipped, your killing will not just head from the head and neck area with a one shot. It can go lower, to the chest and torso, or even to the upper arms, which means you'll be able to get guaranteed one-shot kills within the medium range with the aggressiveness of your weapon, and you'll be able to kill people really easily with your pistol as well, depending on the circumstance as well. Lastly, Steady Aim will be in our last perk choice. It will help decrease the hipfire to 37.5%. 37.5% makes it into an LMG kind of hipfire, and you'll be able to kill people within a dire emergency if you're going to use the hipfire mechanism. But that should only be used within a last case situation if your opponent is way too close for comfort. But if you can't stand that, then another good perk choice, Deep Impact, will help with this regard if your opponent is through a wall or in a wall and is trying to elude you. But with one shot, you'll be able to kill someone with just that single shot with Stopping Power equipped. Another good idea can be the pistols. You'll have to use them every now and then in case you get into really big trouble. And for supply, or for that matter, the M9 and the USP-45 can be a good choice. But if you're wanting raw power, then the M1911 and the Desert Eagle can be your good choice when it comes to. The M40A3 can be a one-shot killer. Even though the one-shot can be very limited, it can do it with that regard. Or if your enemy is pretty damaged and they can easily get killed with one shot. It can be pretty good as an aggressive role too, with quick scoping classes indeed, and with the ACOG scope you can have your damage increase and your aim time dramatically decreased as well. And it's pretty good when it comes to a medium to long range. With Stopping Power included, you can be competing along with the other bolt action rifles and with the other sniper rifles as well. When it comes to the damage, however, it is one of the lowest within the bolt action categories, within the series at least. You'll only have a neck and head area to deal with, and with that you'll be able to have a very difficult time at long ranges. It can be a bit of a problem when it comes to the severe hipfire on this weapon, and if you don't use steady aim, you would have a very hard time killing someone at point blank range. And it's not the best when it comes to the low rate of fire as well. Most other weapons can easily kill you with that regard. And another good idea is to stay away from close range. SMGs and shotguns can easily kill you within their respectful areas, but this weapon can be a very aggressive weapon when it comes to the ACOG scope, and can work many classes as well. From medium to long range, this weapon can do it all. This little copycat from the Remington arms does have a little bit of a provocation and may not have the best damage, but if you do piss the guy off using the weapon, he could kill you from a different zip code. Thank you all very much for watching. Be sure to vote, rate, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and be sure to look at the Facebook page down below. And for our next episode, we're going to be going to the pistols, and we'll be heading to the M9. Until then, GalacticStorm saying, keep charging, bitches.